And your time starts now. In 2018, who reached the Wimbledon final 10 months after giving birth?
Serena Williams.
Correct. Brothers Frank and Joe are protagonists in the mystery book series The What Boys?
Hardy Boys.
Correct. French for a sitting. What word means an attempt to speak to the dead?
Seance.
Correct. Which state is on both the northern and eastern coasts of Australia?
Queensland.
Correct. In 1935, which 6-year-old received an honorary Academy Award?
Shirley Temple.
Correct. How many federal elections did the ALP win in the 70s?
1,
3.
2.
Starting with M, which four-letter word can mean to
72.
lip sync?
Mime.
Correct. Launched in 1961, the spacecraft Vostok 1 orbited which planet?
Earth.
Earth.
Correct. The Hanshin Tigers are one of the oldest baseball teams in which country?
China.
Japan. In the popular lyrics of the kids' song, what part of the bus goes beep, beep, beep?
The horn.
Correct. Which sense organ? Okay. Terrific. That was fantastic. $16,000 for your cash building round. Nice play.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And your time, Adrian, starts now. How many months are in half a year?
6.
Correct. Social worker Doria Ragland is the mother-in-law of which British prince?
William.
Harry. The name of which bone in the leg comes from the Latin for small pan or plate?
Fibula.
Patella. Which Oceanian country won its first America's Cup in 1995?
New Zealand.
Fiji.
New Zealand. A famous line from Gone with the Wind is, frankly, my dear, I don't give
Give
a
a damn.
Dan.
Correct. Which former New South Wales Premier was Finance Minister for the Howard government?
Nick Greiner.
John Fahey.
Ah.
What word for fruit preserve appears in a common phrase for vehicle gridlock?
Jam.
Pass.
Jam. The rhyming slang term for the regular postal service is snail what?
Mail.
Trail.
Mail. According to J.K. Rowling, which letter of Voldemort's name is silent?
T.
Correct. A swimwear brand name completes the historic slogan, Speed on in your what?
Speedos.
Pass.
Speedos. TV's Little Britain was co-created by Matt Lucas and David Who? Volumes. $6,000 for your cash build around. That certainly gets you over to San Siro.
100% gets me there and back. So.
You betcha. Makes you play there, right? 1 minute on the clock. Best of luck. And your time starts now. The pipes are calling are lyrics from which Irish folk song?
Danny Boy.
Pass.
Danny Boy. In which 60s sci-fi film does Charlton Heston play an astronaut? Planet of the Apes. A biblical commandment is, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy
Neighbour.
Parents.
neighbour. Which Australian state had the tourism slogan, beautiful one day, perfect
Queensland.
Correct.
No.
A literal meaning of the Latin term terra is also the name of which planet?
Earth.
Earth.
Correct. On a Windows PC, what is a standard keyboard shortcut to refresh?
F9.
F5. The name of which sign of the Western Zodiac ends with the letter A?
Libra.
Correct.
Yeah.
In soccer, a treble requires a team to win how many tournaments in a season?
3.
Correct. Which Tom Clancy character has been played by actors Ben Affleck and Chris Pine?
Pass.
Jack Ryan. In which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical does a chandelier fall onto the stage?
Phantom of the Opera.
Correct. A common sporting idiom meaning a failed attempt is a swing and a what?
Miss.
Correct. Oh, I just stuck it in too. Swing and a hit on that one. $12,000 on the clock. Best of luck to you.
Thank
And
you.
your time starts now. What flat breakfast food is most associated with Shrove Tuesday?
Pancake.
Bread.
Pancakes. Beginning with M. What word means both a hill and to prepare a course of action?
Mountain.
Mount. The rules by which information is encoded in DNA is known as the what code?
Da Vinci.
Pass.
Genetic. On the Olympic symbol, what colour is the middle ring of the top row?
Green.
Yellow.
Black. In the children's song, what amphibians do we all know go la-di-da-di-da?
From.
Correct. Typically, what is the main cheese filling in the Italian dumplings known as gnocchi?
Ricotta.
Correct. A 90s film starring Sylvester Stallone is Stop or My Mum Will What?
Shoot.
Correct. What number does a clock's minute hand point to at 10 minutes to the hour?
10.
Correct. Stage actors are commonly said to tread the what?
Forward.
Water.
Boards. In digital cameras, the word megapixel is abbreviated to what two letters?
MP.
Correct. Born in Glasgow was iconic stand-up comedian Billy Who?
Connolly.
Crystal.
The other iconic stand-up comedian. Yeah. Hey Mal, what are you spending the money on, by the way?
Feeling like going to a really fancy restaurant in regional Victoria, and then also some money towards the wedding.
$10,000 ought to cover a bit of it. But Adrian's a very cool customer. We've seen that already. Not much puts him off. During the break, he chose blindly between two sets of questions. Set A for Adrian, set B for the Tiger Mum.
Yeah.
You only get a one-step head start because there's only one of you in the game. But I wish you the very best of luck, Adrian.
Thanks, Andrew.
And your time starts now. Champagne bottles are typically made from what material?
Glass.
Glass.
Correct. In which country is the Karawatha Forest?
Brazil.
Australia. In which film does John Travolta play hitman Vincent Vega?
Pass.
Pulp Fiction. A popular book series by Aaron Blabey is Pink the what?
Blanket.
Pug. One Direction made their debut on which TV talent show?
X Factor.
Correct. The condition heterochromia iridis affects which sense organ?
Eyes.
Eyes.
Correct. The McCarthyist era was infamous in which country's history?
United States.
USA. Light detection and ranging is known by what acronym?
Laser.
Pass.
LiDAR. The term autobahn originates from which European language?
German.
Italian.
German. What is the largest world ocean to border Africa?
No, Indian.
Atlantic.
Ah.
The Cupid was a sister ship to which inverse battleship?
Bismarck.
Pass.
The Bismarck. What is the official currency of the Republic of Ireland?
Euro.
Euro.
Correct. Fred the Red is the mascot of which EPL club?
Manchester United.
Correct. In 2016, who filed for divorce from actor Brad Pitt?
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Correct. An iconic manufacturer of agricultural machinery is Massey who?
Ferguson.
Ferguson. Rhyming with leak, what is a word for a small stream?
Creek.
Correct. In what country was writer Simone de Beauvoir born?
France.
Correct. Which former African leader's wife was nicknamed Gucci Grace?
Pass.
Robert Mugabe. In cricket, DRS stands for Decision Review what?
System.
All Out of Love was an 80s hit for which Australian band?
Air Supply.
Air Supply. What place on Earth is commonly called the frozen continent?
Antarctica.
Correct. The name of what popular party game is a synonym of tornado?
Pass.
Twister. In Greek myth, what animal was Lelaps?
Lion.
A dog. In which city is the Broadway musical Rent set?
USA.
New York City. Which Cold Chisel singer is the father of David Campbell?
Pass.
Jimmy Barnes in World War II. Adrian, you've done yourself proud. Well done.
Thanks, Andrew.
Not everyone comes up with 11 steps as a solo player.
No.
Good job.
Thank you.
Alex, what do you think?
I think double digits for any solo player is worthy of respect.
Absolutely right. Well, we'll see what happens. Final chase starts next.
Andrew, next, the Banking Royal Commission claims its first scalp. Robert Doyle's bombshell. Police probe claims of sexual assault.
A warning for parents after a sex creep is spotted lurking near Bayside schools.
A lightning strike destroys an elderly couple's home.
We speak to the lucky grandparents who survived the blaze. We'll tell you about the $110 million in unclaimed Medicare rebates. Are you owed money?
Details on a Melbourne prostate cancer breakthrough.
How researchers are slowing down the spread of deadly disease.
And in weather, it's another warm night before a cooler breeze arrives tomorrow.
Thanks to the newsroom for that. Been a pleasure playing with you, Adrian.
Thanks,
And
Andrew.
it ain't over yet because we never know what happens in this final chase. Tiger Bum, now up at the claws and ready to roar.
Always ready, Andrew.
It's time for the final chase. And your time starts now. On a remote control, the opposite of rewind is fast what?
Forward.
Correct. Which dinosaur name derives from the Greek for tyrant lizard?
Tyrannosaurus
Rex.
Correct. James Cameron was once married to fellow director Catherine who?
Bigelow.
Correct. What Aldous Huxley novel is set in the era after Ford?
Brave New World.
Correct. A well-known aria from Turandot is nestled in what?
Dormer.
Correct. Cricketer Quinton de Kock represents which country?
South Africa.
Correct. In which UK country was Julia Gillard born?
Wales.
Yeah.
Correct. The Angora goat's coat is used to produce which fluffy yarn?
Kashmir.
Stop the clock.
Mohair.
The Angora goat's coat is used to produce which fluffy yarn?
Mohair.
Cotton.
Mohair.
I don't
Mohair.
even know what that is.
Yeah, well, a bit like Kashmir, but not. 1:23 on the clock, 4 required. And your time starts now. Bandwidth is typically measured in bits per what?
Second.
Correct. What is the official national anthem of the Falkland Islands?
God Save the Queen.
Queen.
US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo succeeded Rex who?
Tillerson.
Chile.
Correct.
Okay.
By area, what is the world's smallest sovereign country?
Liechtenstein.
Vatican City.
Vatican.
Which you really didn't give me much of a look at.
She did it. No, you
She was picked making some rippers along the way too. So sadly, I've got to say goodbye to your $6,000. It's been a pleasure to play with you, Tiger Mum. Ultimately pretty convincing with 104 left on the clock.
It's hard for anyone to do it alone, Andrew. So top marks for effort, Adrian.
Absolutely. Best of luck with everything. And great to have your company as always. See you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight, the banking scandal claims its first victims, 2 NAB bosses gone as Westpac wields the axe in a day of turmoil. Also, former Lord Mayor Robert Doyle in a new bombshell, 6 women accusing him of sex crimes. A warning for parents over a convicted child rapist lurking near schools. A storm ordeal for an elderly couple, their home hit by lightning and gutted by fire. Medicare millions up for grabs. Australians left short-changed because of one simple oversight. And inside, a police crackdown on jet ski hoons.
Live from our Melbourne headquarters, this is 7 News with Peter Mitchell.
Good evening. It's taken just 3 days. The Banking Royal Commission has claimed 2 of the industry's...
I recognise
Years to when he was a teacher at Geelong College. Others relate to his record-breaking 10 years as Lord Mayor, a post he resigned a year ago in disgrace. The statement reads, Victoria Police has spoken with a number of women in relation to historical sexual assault matters. At this time, it is only in the preliminary stages and the matter is under assessment. The current Lord Mayor was unaware of the police investigation.
I'm not aware of
Dear,
that.
dear Rob.
Safety after a 3-hour rescue operation. She suffered a suspected
Yesterday, he was seen near schools in Beaumaris and then
approached children near schools.
Bayside parents are keeping their children just that little bit closer. This is the man they're being warned to watch out for. Convicted rapist Joel Pregnell has been spotted several times in the past 48 hours, even wearing a disguise.
he had shiny white stuff on his cheeks and a band-aid over that tattoo.
Pregnell raped a 16-year-old girl in 2007. As part of his release conditions, he reported to police on January 11, giving them a false address. Last Wednesday, he drove at officers as they tried to arrest him at a Hampton service station. On Tuesday, a man matching Pregnell's description approached a schoolgirl near Garden Vale Station. Yesterday, he was seen near schools in Beaumaris, and then later in the day, he was spotted again in Brighton. Several Bayside schools sent out warnings to be vigilant.
One of the things that we sort of said to them yesterday was, don't go around just with your head in your phone, with your earphones in. Be aware of your surroundings.
Pregnell was last seen in Brighton late last night. He was walking here along Foot Street before taking a left up Martin Street towards a high school and a primary school. One witness who didn't want to be identified saw him when she was pulling into her driveway.
His hair is shorter than that, and he was just wearing a white shirt with buttons, with jeans. Looked tidy.
Pregnell is described as being unshaven, about 180 centimetres tall, with brown eyes and a thin build. He has short brown hair and has a tattoo of a cross on his right cheek.
Live now to Tom Chadwick. And Tom, have there been any more sightings today?
Well, Mitch, as we stand here tonight, there has been no more sightings of Pregnell today. In fact, police do believe he is somewhere still in the Bayside area. As for that Suzuki that they believe he was driving around, it was found later dumped. So they actually do believe he's either on foot somewhere here in Bayside or potentially squatting here in the local suburbs as well. As for the man himself, he was actually standing on this intersection this very time late last night. So locals should certainly be aware that he is around. If they do see him, certainly do not approach. He's very dangerous. Simply call 000. Mitch?
Thanks, Tom. Tom Chadwick at Brighton. A man's been electrocuted while working on a cherry picker in Melbourne's southeast. Emergency services crews were called to Latrobe Street in Hughesdale this afternoon. The worker died at the scene. Police are preparing a report for the coroner.
$7.50 maybe.
And many have already registered.
Just fill out the form and hand it in and they do the work.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
For pensioners not having the money,
is hard. They are on tight budgets. They can't do without that rebate.
Labor says the government holding one...
Very well, he's a very good guy. I'm sure that he wouldn't have ever done anything to intentionally cause offence.
The Defence Force says it's satisfied with the apology. Donald Trump has thanked America's allies, including Australia, for their support in the ongoing fight against Islamic State. He says the caliphate will be wiped out by next week, but the battle won't end there.
Australia among the nations gathered to hear ISIS's
and investigation.
Yes.
Just in the past 4 months on advertising. A lightning strike hadn't alerted you. You think you might have died in there?
Oh yes, definitely. I'm lucky on my life.
Ron and Edna's. And we've spoken exclusive.
The breeze arrives tomorrow.
Evita.
850.
Out of a suitcase after the Spencer Street apartment building fire. They're struggling after making new living.
Students, if they don't have family or friends to stay with, the body corporate has offered.
Rescue team scouring the rubble for survivors. 3 people have been.
Priority to pound the pavement.
It's not always convenient. It's not always easy. Parenting isn't at the best of times. We've made a decision to drive part of the way and walk some of the way.
I like walking to school because it's Eastern Victoria, including outer Northcast.
Thanks, Jane. We'll have breaking news next on the hunt for a child rapist in Bayside suburbs. Also, police are clamping down on a familiar summer menace.
Call 13. Incredible.
At up to $1 billion.
This will be a part of Operation Jet Wash. Structure back up to the level we had prior to this event.
Authorities are warning homeowners to look out for scammers posing as tradies during the clean-up. Police have nabbed dozens of jet ski hoons in a crackdown on dangerous behaviour on Port Phillip Bay. Our cameras joined them to see how the riders are putting themselves and others at risk.
They're thumbing their nose at the law and putting lives in danger.
You can kill people on these, high-powered jet skis.
Here, 2 hoons are spotted speeding. One breaks away, riding too close to shore. When water police pull them over, they don't think they've done anything wrong.
And I think it's a massive joke. What have you done? You tell me.
No.
You think you've done something?
We don't want to be the fun police, but we will be if you're hurting or endangering people.
The Summer Blitz is part of Operation Jet Wash. It's to catch those doing more than 5 knots within 50 metres of other water users.
Essentially 5 knots is walking pace, so any faster than that, it makes it very difficult to avoid a collision. During the operation, we ended up issuing nearly 400 tickets and intercepting nearly 700 craft.
Like these men who were hooning so fast, they fell off right in front of police.
We've had people killed because of poor behaviour on jet skis. Someone behaving poorly and hooning actually killed a swimmer on the beach.
That swimmer was Alexandra and George's father.
Next thing I know, I see my dad lifeless in front of me, and from there it was just a blur. One day he was here and the next he was gone, and it was just so preventable.
Reckless hoons who put swimmers' lives at risk face a fine of more than $800 or time.